Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. It's Tuesday. We're 4 days away. 4 days away from what I'm calling the turning point in Josh Heupel's career at Tennessee. Look, Florida Gators come to town. Number 11 versus number 20. The stage is set. College game day, sold-out crowd. We're going to checker Neyland. This is an opportunity to take that next step. This rivalry has been one-sided for the last 17 years, and it's time we kind of flip the script a little bit. It's a big moment, a big opportunity coming up on Saturday afternoon. CBS game, 3:30 kickoff. And look, there's a lot of storylines as we go through the week. The injury to Cedric Tillman. Is he going to be go or is he not? Is he going to be out? What about Dylan Sampson, Jabari Small, a couple of running backs? Tennessee could be down to 2 scholarship running backs. Now, I saw on Twitter that Tony Basilio had said that the running backs are good to go, that Jabari Small, Dylan Sampson are going to be good to go on Saturday against Florida. But he also said that Cedric Tillman is going to be out. Now, is that the case? I don't know. We know how Josh Heupel is. Josh Heupel is not going to talk about injuries. But for me, my eyes are on Hendon Hooker upcoming Saturday afternoon. We're going to talk about why in just a second. Before we get rolling, as always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We'll be live tonight, 9 p.m. tonight. Eric Kane, VolQuest.com. Also, Locked On VAWLS podcast host is going to be right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're going to sit down, talk about this Florida game coming up, and then it's going to open up to a fan call-in show where you, the listener, has an opportunity to come on the channel. So look forward to that. Hope to see you guys tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But again, for me, Saturday afternoon, Neyland Stadium, Tennessee versus Florida. My eyes are going to be on Hendon Hooker. This is an opportunity for him to leave a legacy. And when we talk about the history of this rivalry, we got to go back a long way. You know, I kind of talked about on the video yesterday what this rivalry means to different people. And people that are my age, you look back to the late 90s, the early 2000s, Fulmer versus Spurrier. But you think about one guy, and that's Casey Clausen, because he was able to go into the swamp and beat the Gators twice. The Iceman, the Florida killer, the Florida Gator killer, Casey Clausen. You kind of point to the opposite of that. Sometimes opposing fan bases like to remind us, they like to point out to us that Peyton Manning went 0 for 4. Went 0 for 4 against the Gators. Hendon Hooker has an opportunity to leave a legacy, and it's all about wins and losses. We can talk about the numbers. You know, it seems like his accuracy has been a little off this year. We've talked about that. He's been high on some throws. He's made some nice throws down the field, hit some deep balls. Jalen Hyatt had a deep ball that was more of a slant that he took to the house. We saw him drop one in on Squirrel White that Squirrel White had to come back and get. But he's made some nice throws, but he's been off a little bit at times. But when you look at his numbers, he's been efficient. Even his completion percentage, 69.4% compared to 68.2% just a year ago. Let's listen to what Hendon Hooker had to say. He was asked at the press conference media appearance on Monday, he was asked how he would grade his game against the Florida Gators last year, a game that Tennessee lost 38-14. That's not the result you're looking for. Pretty close game at halftime. Gators led 17-14, but the second half, Tennessee came out and did not get it done. Laid a goose egg in the second half. But you look at Hendon Hooker's numbers, 13 of 23, 221 yards and 2 touchdowns, added 23 yards on the ground. But when asked about his performance last year against the Gators, this is what Hendon Hooker had to say.
I would give myself a D. You know, I hold myself to extremely high standards to almost be perfect, you know, in a sense. But, you know, that's not possible. But as close to perfect as I can get. And I honestly just judge it off of, are we winning? Like, am I doing my job in order for us to win? If I'm not, then it's not a good game.
Yes.
That's all it comes down to is wins and losses. And when you look at Hendon Hooker throughout the year, you know, we're talking about with Xavier this morning. How do you think this football team looks through 3 games? The bottom line is they're 3-0. They're putting up good numbers. I think they're ranked 4th in the country in scoring offense, even though it's not perfect, which that's what Hendon Hooker strives to be. He strives to be perfect. Even though it's not perfect, you're 3-0 with a huge opportunity as the Gators come to town on Saturday afternoon. You go back and look at the Ball State game. Hendon Hooker, 18 of 25, 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. You look at the Pitt game, 27 of 42, 325 yards and 2 touchdowns. And again, not perfect, but that's pretty good. And the key about Hendon Hooker is he does not turn the football over. You go on and look at Akron, 14 of 18, 298 yards and 2 touchdowns. So basically 3 games, pretty good numbers, 2 touchdowns in each game. That now makes 15 straight games that Hendon Hooker has thrown a touchdown pass, which he is just 3 away from the record, which is 18 straight games with a touchdown pass held by Heath Shuler, the legendary Heath Shuler. That's pretty good company for Hendon Hooker to keep. But when you look at his numbers, week in, week out, efficient, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. The key, no interceptions. Protect the football. There's some other records floating around out there about consecutive passes. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to speak that into existence. But I love that Hendon Hooker is always about the team. He's not about himself. But I'm going to be about Hendon Hooker. Something else he talked about in that media appearance on Monday was that they got to block out the outside noise. And sometimes I see people on this channel in the chat, in the comments saying, we can't talk about that, Boogie. We got to focus one game at a time. That we can talk about whatever we want. It's on Josh Heupel. It's on that football team to stay focused, stay dialed in a week at a time. We know that. But as fans, we're going to talk about what we talk about. That's what we do. We talk, we speculate, we get excited, we get fired up. My eyes are on Hendon Hooker because I'm not expecting him to go down there and just be efficient. I'm not expecting him to just get the win on Saturday inside of Neyland Stadium. No. I want Hendon Hooker to dominate. I want to come out of this game saying, Hendon Hooker put this football team on his back and went out and single-handedly won that game. Now, I know it takes 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, and some guys on special teams. I get it. It's a team game. But when we come out of this football game, I don't want to sit in the post-game show and talk about accuracy issues or throws being a little high or, the numbers look good, but the accuracy's still not dialed in. I want us to come out of that game on Saturday talking about how Hendon Hooker just solidified himself as a legend of Tennessee football by putting this team on his back. And what better story, what better way to go out there and do that than if Cedric Tillman's out and you kind of pick up and rally the rest of this football team, whether it's Ramel Keaton, Walker Merrill, whoever is out there opposite of Brew McCoy. Hopefully Cedric Tillman's healthy and good to go. I don't know. We're not going to find out. Josh Heupel's not going to talk about it. We will not know. We probably won't know until Saturday when they come out for warm-ups, whether or not Cedric Tillman is dressed up and going through those stretches and warm-ups. That's when we'll find out. Probably a couple of hours before kickoff. But what better story than for Hendon Hooker to rally this team, put them on his back, go out and put together a legendary performance against the Gators. That's the team, against the Florida Gators, to turn this program around. We're heading in the right direction. We all see it. The trajectory is going up. The stock is rising. The national media, again, College game day. Josh Pate's going to be in town. Checker Neyland, sold out. Huge atmosphere. We just sold out freaking Akron. Akron, guys. We sold out Akron. It looked like a big-time conference game. Orange everywhere. The ball walk was electric. This fan base is foaming at the mouth, and it's time for Hendon Hooker to put his name down in the history books as a legend of Tennessee football. He's the best quarterback we've had probably since Josh Dobbs. Definitely since Josh Dobbs. But when the Florida game rolls around, we talk about Casey Clausen for a reason, because he went down there and beat him twice in the swamp. Now it's time for Hendon Hooker to put his name in the history books and go out and put on the performance of a lifetime against Florida. Let's come out of this game talking about the legend of Hendon Hooker. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Hit that comment section and let me know your thoughts. Hendon Hooker's been efficient. He protects the football. But what do you want to see from him on Saturday afternoon against the Gators? Before we get out of here, make sure you guys do smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Check out these brand new shirts. You guys have demanded and demanded and demanded for the Buck Fama shirt. It is available. You can see there it is a limited edition. This shirt is not going to be available for long. It is going to be gone very soon. So if you want one, you better get in where you fit in. This is because of you. You demanded it, so we're going to give it to you. So go check it out, bonfire.com. youtube.com/store/talkinvols. Any and all support greatly appreciated. A lot of new members joined the channel this morning. We appreciate that. You'll have an opportunity to be a part of the fan call-in show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So hope to see you guys for that. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.